dum 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 dum. Hello everyone, this is Walking Problem. It's been some time since I'm around, so I'm good. I've been busy with real life. Life have not been easy because I have been too busy with modding until that I kind of screw up my own finances. So now I'm focusing mainly on my real life businesses and try to get things well. So anyway, welcome to this live stream. It is about creating a new race for the Alien Humanoid Framework, and I'm gonna use the creation of the Gundabad Orcs as the example, since I need to make it. And these are the existing orcs that I have already created: the Goblin Moria, the Moria Goblins, the Mordor Orcs, the Goblin from Misty Mountains, and Urukai. So these are already created for the lot of the Rim mod. And I decided to add the Gundabad Orcs as well. So before this, let me share the link to this live stream to all the social media channels first. Let me find, how do I do this? Okay, my stream health is not very good. I wonder why. Okay, so it could be lagging. So let me find, where's the link? So give me some time. Let me find the link to my live stream. Okay, found it. Okay, so I'm going to share it on the Walking Problem Facebook first. So if you are watching this not live, but after this, you may want to skip this entire part until I start the tutorial proper. Join me in the creation of the Gundabad Orcs race for Lord of the Rim mod. Oh shit, I accidentally that's it. Okay. Okay, let me print screen. Screen and okay, and save. Excuse me. Whoops. Okay, this is bad. One life without people, one life. Okay, let me go to my Discord channel too to share this live stream. So yeah, I'm sharing the link to this live stream like all over Discord, so that it's not so boring. And content creators. So it's okay. So this is just how it is gonna be. A little bit boring, as because I'm just studying this thing. So yeah, I'm sharing the link. Oops. Okay. So get back to this part. Yep. Participant. I'm sure no problem. So I'm not too sure why the quality of the stream is going to be like a little bit not so good. Alright, so let's get on to, I should share it on my Patreon as well. Just give me a moment. And my Patreon. Need to log in my Patreon. And yes, I will appreciate a lot if you guys will support me on Patreon for my modding work, because it's really not easy to do good mods without some form of financial support from you guys, from the fans. As of now, I only have 4 patrons contributing $10 a month. So $10, that's about 2 meals in Singapore. So definitely would be helpful to have more patrons. So let me share the live stream. YouTube. How do I do this? Set up my live stream account. So in case you're not sure what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. Okay, so and live stream enabled. Okay, I meet all the requirements and thing. Start an unlisted. Paste your live stream. Okay, so requirements. Okay. Okay. So I don't think it's gonna be like let's do it for public, and it's not gonna be shredded. And publish now. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so yep, good. So okay, so let me introduce again. So welcome to the live stream for the creating of a new race for the Alien Humanoid Framework, And for this tutorials example, I'm going to be creating the Gundabad Orcs for the lot of the Rim mod. So first, let me introduce the Orcs that have been already created. These are the 4 races that have been created, the first 4 races that I've listed that I will create. And we have the Moria Goblins, we have the Mordor Orcs, and we have the Misty Mountain Goblins, which is from the Goblin Town from the Hobbit movie, and the Urukai. So now we want to create the Gundabad Orcs. So Gundabad Orcs are pretty interesting because they are a really sophisticated race that appears in the second half of the Hobbit story. And in the Hobbit movie, they are really well equipped. They are really different from the rest of the orcs that we know for most of the Lord of the Ring movie franchise. And to be honest, it's a little bit difficult to find the faces to reference for the Gundabad orcs, because if you look at their armor and the helmets, they usually have their face covered. There's not really a lot of references, to how they might look. So I found a few prior to starting this live stream. This guy is very famous, and I have no idea who is he until I realized that he's actually this guy. So it was a shock to me just now. It was like, oh, so you were this and then you became like this. Okay, so that's kind of like, okay. So I also kind of find a few pretty good ones from this search, this term. No, not this one. Looks a little bit like this, and so important thing is that it depends on how you do, how are you going to do, what kind of race that you want to do, is especially if you are going to base it from a franchise or existing franchise, you need to do kind of like some referencing to kind of find out what is the main features. And for me, you see, I have quite a number of references, and so this guy, I think he's a Gundabad orc. So this guy is like a more normal guy, and then this another Gundabad orc who looks a lot like a Urukai. Yeah, this guy. And then we have, I think this guy. Yeah, I think this is a Gundabad orc too. So I can tell that Gundabad orcs have pretty big nose, which is what Azog is. They're pretty big and flat nose. They have this very low eyebrow arch. You see the big nose, the arch that is kind of, it goes down and pretty thick, like you see here. They have a pretty sharp teeth, but generally we try not to draw the mouth in. So they have the flat and big nose. You see that big nose, which is like and then there's a triangle below here. So this kind of face would provide a very good reference. And they have also this depression at the cheek. So this will be the main features. And if you talk about ears, they have pretty small ears for orcs. So this guy have a slightly bigger one that goes backwards. This one have a small ear. Azog have a small ear. So the distinctive feature for the Gundabad orcs is going to be this: they actually do not have big ears. So in fact, we might not even put in the ears, because the ears look a lot like the human ears. So we might just not put it in. So when you so there's a lot of people have been asking me how do they do a new race, and so I always say that you must base it off the original artwork so that you have a good reference. So for usual artwork, is the size of the graphics is actually 128 by 128. So see, this is 128 by 128, and then the head does not even fill up the whole space. It's actually a lot smaller. So, and from this we can create all this. So these are the graphics. So I'm not too sure what software you'll be using. For me, I'm using my own professional software, which is the Adobe Illustrator. I know not everyone have the luxury to use such professional software, so you have to make do. So so for the head, we need the front view, side view facing the right, and the back view. So can have this, the overlay. Anyway, so this basically for Illustrator. I just creating the tree space, which I will be using later, and this I will be deleting all this. So first, I'll use one educate photo, so as the reference. For the head. So I would like to create maybe the arch first, something like this. And then the eyes. And then the distinctive nose. Okay, maybe not too sure if I'm doing this correctly in this way. Maybe not. Okay, let me do this. So it really depends on which software you use. So how I do drawing this might not be applicable to the software you're using. So I mean, there's a lot of ways to draw the same thing, or a lot of ways to do the same sort of work. Do not think of this as like an absolute, but I just want to show you the process that I go through when I do my mods. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So when you start to do all these drawings, do not be too afraid. You just draw first. And then you can adjust them later. So remember, we talked about the cheek. Okay. So this too. So kind of looks So let's look back at the references again. So typically they have the arch and a fat nose, so maybe I should make the draw the fat nose. So again, do not take this like an absolute only way to draw. I mean, a lot of people actually manage to draw ridiculously good stuff on paint, which I have no idea how you're going to do that. So I can only show you based on what I do. Yep. So there. So you can see, based on how I draw the previous ones, I will have to simplify this thing later. So for now, this would suffice. So the same goes for what I did for the Urukai as well. So when I previously drew the Urukai, there's actually a lot more details, which I then removed later. I think that was a mouth or something. Yeah, I deleted that. So let me. So I shut this away. I will base it on what I have done for the Urukai first. Okay, I think I better use this one. Oops. Let me paste this thing here first. Okay, because this one I have already puffed it, so it would be a bit difficult to work with that. So the ears are not important. Bring it to the front, and now give it like obviously, as you can already see, it doesn't look really correct, because the shape of the head is wrong. So let me get this away first. So for their faces, let me say, so how do I draw the others? Okay, it's mainly the eyes, but they do not really have very distinctive eyes. So this could work. This eyes could work. Let's bring this smaller to kind of like compare a little. So maybe this fat part of the nose, let's remove it and see. Okay, so this part, what if we remove this? So I think the problem is with this nose. I think we should delete this and delete this, and then maybe we do not put this parts in. Maybe let's remove it. Challenging. Okay, so maybe I'll redraw this part, this nose, to something that I can control better. Okay, so something like that. Oops. Okay, ungroup that. Let me choose this thing behind. Frick. Okay. So but it doesn't look really like this nose here now. We still need to fix it more. So how do we gotta do that? Maybe like that. Perhaps. So put this together. Yeah, it looks a lot more like it, right? So we want to do a fat nose, and then this guy is too famous. His minions do not actually look like this. His minion looks perhaps a bit like this, but we, of course, we're not going to do this like broken nose things. Yeah, his flat nose. We need to find a way to do the flat nose. How do we do the flat nose? Let me see if I add this. Oops. Okay. Perhaps this might work. So let's flip this over. Yeah, you see, there's a some form of illusion that it's actually a little flatter. Not sure. I'm just testing this out. Let's try the nostril. I mean, sometimes it's hard to tell. So one thing you have to, about about doing graphics is that you have to really be very patient and understand that this actually is a lot of try and error, especially if you are trying to do very good work. You don't really get the things right the first time round. So be patient. Let me see if I want to keep this nostril thing. We'll keep it for now. It's okay. I need to give this a bit more, like this, and then reflect it. So later we will still have to centralize the whole thing so that they will look correct. So they can I can delete this. This is useless now. We now come to the eyes. As you can see, you can see this. The original book. Why is it so thick? Is because in game it's actually very small. You actually look something like more of like this. Oh yeah, you see, there was more details on the Budokai here. You see to the mouth area. And it was removed in the final version. So we would want to make sure that we get the look right. So a lot of all these details is going to be gone, when I actually add in the outline to thicken it. So for example, I thicken it in this way. So these two might need to be a little bigger when I give it a lot more. Yep. So this will have to be a bit bigger. So some form of exaggeration or something like caricature it does work pretty well, especially in games, or especially in Rimworld, where everything is suggestive rather than the absolute. Although I have this habit of almost doing absolute way of art, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Let's see if I'm getting this correct. Yep, about there. So now you can see the flatter nose kind of thing. So it doesn't look flat now. Yep, perhaps one way to make it look fatter. That sort of work. So now I need to adjust this side and delete this so that I can duplicate this on this side. I'm not sure who's on anyone's live here. No, I don't think anyone is watching. No issue. It's okay. So let's thicken these lines too. About there. So now it's the head. So this is a Urukai head. So obviously they do not look like this. The Gundabad, they are a lot skinnier. More towards like that, but they do not have this. They have like a sharper. Yep, of course the face is not this long. So that's not look correct too. So maybe this. So if you go by the reference, you can see that they have pretty long faces. So let's come back to this. So this still needs to be a bit like shorter, perhaps, because you have to that's why I say you need to compare to the original. You can see, okay, now the face, the eyes is pretty high, so perhaps it's not advisable for me to do it this way. So let's drop this and pull everything down a little. That gives them like quite a big head and make them look a bit too smart. Let's look for more references. The orc. I mean, the reason why this photo is taken this way is so that to show that the forehead is actually smaller. Not too sure this Gundabad looks a little bit like it. Maybe. Okay, let's take a look at this guy. This Azok. So I mean, Bok is definitely a Gundabad. So he will be a much better reference. You see the small ears. So when you have such a small ear akin to human ears, you do not really need to draw it in. So let's see. there is this arch, then this part. How should I do this? 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. Oops, shit. This part. I don't know, it doesn't look correct. We have bad reference. That's what I mean by the problem that I face with Gundabad Orcs. It's about finding the good reference is really difficult for Gundabads. Yeah, I think if you look at this, the forehead here looks a bit like this. Although this forehead looks so much like the Urukai. They keep saying these are Gundabads, but perhaps only this guy is Gundabad. Whatever. So how should I draw this, man? So important thing also, I'm doing this as a set, so I have to make sure that they look more or less the same. You can distinct them from each other. That they are different races, and they should look different, but the art style should be somewhat similar. I think this really looks a bit too smart. Okay, if I bring this across to here, yeah, the faces are still on the high side. Let's push it up a little. Let's see if we remove this. If we remove that. We should keep it, but perhaps bring it higher. And maybe drop the additional thickness. Yep, perhaps. So you can see there's a jawbone, and then there's the cheek. The jawbone, the cheek. The cheek is lower than the nose, so I think this should still return lower. Yeah, looks more correct that way. We need to look at the eyes. How do I do the other eyes? What if I move the eyes here? Not bad. I can live with it. Yep, it's not too bad. So let me copy this first. Then okay, let me back it up. So I'm not too sure what would you be using for your work. If you're using Illustrator like me, do not be afraid to back up like in this way, or the work just copy and just put it one side. It's just good practice, honestly. I'm gonna just delete this and this too. I just gotta flip it around. Oops. I? Let's group this together, and then I group this together, and I group this together, group the noses part together. So I select all and I, yep, as you can see, I centralize it and adjust. So does the Gundabad look correct? Compared to the human head, it looks a little big. A little. So perhaps this head part, maybe we can lower it a bit. The reason why you have to base it off the original graphic heads, because they were gonna have problems when they are wearing helmets or hats, and they might not look correct if you just let them look really, different. Okay, you can see, right? Just change the colors, and then you'll be able to see that they are a bit off. Oh, so one thing about the original graphics is that some of them are just like off center. I have no idea why is it the case. And if you look at my artwork over here, I do not really follow the offset. Yeah, they just have this weird offset. So I think I could bring this in one. And I'm gonna push this in this way, and yep, because I want this, because if you look at this curve, it's actually moving outwards, so it will create an illusion of this face going to be like this, the jaw area. So but I want the jaw area to look straight, so this I have to adjust and reflect it. If you cannot see it, then we have to add in the stroke. Slightly, yeah, the stroke looks like really strong. Okay, maybe I just leave it as is. I wonder if I should do it like smaller. Perhaps better. Perhaps. Let's flip it. Yep. Perhaps it's better now. So do we really want to add in the years? I have no idea. Should we? Because they have really small years. So they're not really known for their years. If you look at their warriors, no. Do I want to reference this as the Gundabad? Perhaps not. They do have a little bit of years. Or perhaps I just give them the Urukai year. Oops. The years are off. this way. Nah, even smaller. Anyway, face, I don't need you anymore. Go away. Are we all central? Somewhat. As you can see, the year is like okay, if this is what the year is gonna be, that's what it's gonna be. Okay, let me tweak it. So, what do you think? Gundabad. So, I think I'm pretty cool with this. I think it looks distinctive enough from the rest, and it resembles a bit like Bog. It looks like Bog. It looks like part of his clan, his group. It looks fierce. It looks a bit big and not thin, not that thin. But you have to remember. So when you see, let's say you compare it to the Urukai, you may think that it looks bigger than the Urukai, but it's not true, because Urukais in the game they will be bigger. Yeah, it's like not that much, but like little bit bigger, because Urukais are almost human size, and Orcs are actually more like slightly bigger than Hobbit. It's kind of size. So the head would eventually be smaller, and thus you will look correct. Just want to check this part if it's all even out. I think it's okay. Yep, I think it's okay. I'm saying it's okay, but I'm still checking. I just want to be sure. Wrong. Go away. I just want to be sure. You see, there is some difference. Damn it! I know it. Too much. I have to manually move this. Yeah, I know is symmetrical is a form of beauty, but and they should look a bit more disgusting. But yeah, you have to make it pretty. It's a game. All right, so we have this ear here thing. I think I gotta give them just Urukai ear, with maybe slightly smaller. Okay, can I reuse any of my previous work here? No, I don't think so. Okay, so this is the front. So now so after you do the front, I will always recommend you to do the back first. The back view would be the easiest to do. Just duplicate it over to here. Duplicate it, just delete the face away. Yep, just delete the face away. And you have your back view. Hooray! See? In a moment, a short moment, we have created two views. Now we're left with the side view. So remember, the side view have to always look face right on your screen. If not, then they will be like looking backwards. They will like have a backward head. So that wouldn't be so nice. So So I just saw someone commented, I'm not too sure how long ago, but anyway, I'm gonna reply here. Yep, and thanks. So okay, so we come back to the face. So how do you do the face? Okay, you need to have the side view for the head. You see, this is the side view, and base it off this one. And surprisingly, I would say for the Gundabad, their head is actually pretty much closer to human heads. So I'm gonna use back somewhat the same head that I already used for the Urukai. As you can see, it actually fits more or less pretty much to the same as. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete away the face, and I'm gonna keep the ear because I say that I'm gonna use the ear, but I need to adjust the ear to this. Okay, why this? So because they have very small ears, but they still have sharp ears. So, but it's not gonna be as distinctive as any of the previous races. And okay, so I gotta leave the ear there. So how do you do this? Is that you take half the just take half the face. You just take the face, move it here, move it here. Okay, so you're gonna reuse the eyes. So you can delete the other side of the eyes, and we're gonna move it. Wait. So a good reference is you always bring the head down to this level, so that you are kind of referencing it correctly. Like for example, the head needs to be a bit longer, so we're gonna raise the forehead a bit, and gonna lower the jaw a little, so that we can kind of match. Yep, so we have a match now. So they have a fatter nose, so we need to account for the fat nose. How do I do the nose? Sure. So we're gonna move this. Crap. Just delete the other side. We're not gonna use the other side. You can move this in first, so we have a reference. So of course they are not gonna look somewhat like this, but it's more gonna be like this when it's on the side view. We can probably still reuse this, maybe rotate a little. So does it look fat later? A little fat like that. Yep. So we're gonna move that pen here too. Yep. And then let's move in the eyes. So because the eyes are pretty close together, so the eyes need to be like closer to the face, to the front of the face, so that it looks like the eyes are closer together. Because the further you move it, the further the eyes will look to be apart. So you see, this is more apart because the eyes are really apart. And do we need this part? What do you think? I'm gonna delete the other side first. Do I need this part? Okay, this is looking a lot like like a mouth. This looks like a mouth. That's so funny. Yeah, he doesn't look happy. Yeah, he looks like a mouth. Freak. So much like a mouth. Okay. Yeah, I have to delete it because it looks like a mouth. It looks up. So yeah. Damn it! Now I look. The face look like there's two mouths. Fuck. Okay, never mind. So I need to. Maybe it's just my mind playing tricks. So let's see. The chick will be here. So because the chick is there, this thing have to be like error. Because the face is pretty to the front. So let me see. Perhaps a little bit here. Okay. So perhaps I need to move this to give it a sharper sort of pointed. No, it's not supposed to be pointed, so it shouldn't be pointed. So let's move it lower a bit. Yeah, they have a flatter kind of like little bit flatter kind of face. Let's check the references to see if you're right. Maybe we can go inwards a bit. So let's push it back in. Oops. Oh, what's this? I have no idea. Just delete it. Perhaps I can push the jawline a little higher. That's better. So they look a little more distinct. So, but this curvy part is too much. I mean, it's really a bit too sharp. How about this? It looks right. Does this look like a side view of this now? A little. Perhaps this one needs to be nearer. Okay, you know why this cannot be nearer? Because there will be like not enough meat here for it to like get pushed forward. Because you have to imagine that this is actually a shadow part. This is a depression, so the meat is here. So it doesn't look like there's much meat for it to push. So we have to cannot push it too near to the face. I also might want to make this a little. Let's compare. Okay, so maybe a little higher. I think it's not really that essential. No. It looks alright. Looks not alright. I think it looks alright. Okay. So, and that's how you get your Gundabad Orc texture. Yeah, it's the texture only. Okay, so remember, for this texture, height is 128 by 128, and let's save it out. So I just want to highlight, if you can see this original artwork, there's this gradient, this shadow here. This not added over here because this is illustrated. It's a vector application. Illustration application means that everything is done by mathematics. So when it's done by mathematics, you see every single point have a specific pixel, and then the specific rotation, and everything is calculated by mathematics. So this is not. This is just like a photograph. So when you save out, we can actually do the post production process where we will add in this in Photoshop. But for now, for testing purposes, I'm not going to draw it in first, but I can show you how it might look like. Can show you the backup. So it might look like this. Ta-da! See, once you put in the, I compared with the original model orc. Once you put in, you can see it's really not that high resolution when you save it up. Once you put in, you can add in the shadow to highlight the depression part, so you look a lot better. So you can see these are all the ones that I previously did the post-production. Yeah, but I forgot for what reason I need to redo them. So anyway, doesn't matter. So I gotta save this out. So as you can see, the background is transparent. Do not save it with a white background. Alright, so I gonna save to my folder. And okay, the important thing is the naming convention. Okay, I forgot one thing. So for the Lord of the Ring mod, they wanted the years to be like apart. So I need to draw it like this, the head without the ears. So forgot this part. So let's add in. So let's duplicate this, and delete. Oops. I'm sorry. This is not meant to happen. Okay, and this part, this can come down, and then we're gonna duplicate again. Okay, so on this part we delete all the years, and that's done. And but on this part we need to crop out the years. So how do we do it? We need to, so if you are using Illustrator again, outline the stroke, then use the pathfinder, make it into one shape, and then this one too, you have to use the path to outline, and then shape it, and then so you have to copy this, okay, select the first year, copy the whole thing, okay, because I check, never mind, I just ungroup, don't confuse you. So remember, copy this, choose one year, and minus front, basically, then you crop it. So paste back, Control F. Control F is basically pasting back in place. Choose the other year and crop it again, and then you have the crop year. So this part is the easy part. And do I have no, this part is the easy part, just delete the face. And then this part, do the same thing, path the stroke, combine it, copy, ungroup the years, choose 1 year, copy, contrast 1 year, crop it, come back, do the same thing again, crop it, and ta-da! You have your years, ta-da! Hello, yay! Okay, so done. So let's go out and save the phrases. Okay, now the naming convention for me, I name it this way. So in case you are new to modding, you have the file, the name, and then you must have an underscore, and then front, back, or side. See, front, back, or side. This underscore and the back, front, or side is what the Rimworld game will actually use to detect the texture. So you cannot change that. So actually I have Gundabad, Gundabad, and front. Which one did okay, there's front. Okay, front. Whoo, and Gundabad side. Oh, there's no fill. Okay, I need to add in the fill. Oh, so that was what it was. Okay, just now I deleted this thing. Okay, never mind. I can fix this pretty easily. Okay. Yep. Then we have the white background for the head. If it's really confusing for you, I'm sorry for this not so clear tutorial, because a lot of these things is to do with the actual illustration, and it depends a lot on the proficiency with the software. So if you are not proficient with this software, you may want to find tutorials to help you to learn the software, and do more projects, and get into this habit, or get to really learn the trade. So I mean, I have like 20 years, I think. Let me count. Close to 20 years of design and art background. So all these things are really not really that difficult. It's just a little troublesome for me. But for you maybe just started. So be patient. This may take a lot longer than this stream. So the years. So year for the Alien Framework, they have this capital EAR behind the name. So we just have to follow that year and front. And then this is the same for the side. Gundabad, year, then side. And Gundabad, year. Oh, yeah, back. So once again, if you are not really following, I'm sorry, because this is just I just want to show a very overview of how the work is being done actually with me and on my side. And if you involve professional softwares and you really need some experience, and it's really not meant for like beginner kind of things, but I believe that with it does give you some perspective on how things works. So let me add this. Let me add this part in. I want to add in these guys. So you will look something like this in game. but it will be smaller. It will be smaller. So let me. How much smaller is this? Okay. Oh, okay. This 110. So I just gotta do the same thing here, so that it's doing this just for a good reference. Oh, so shit. To think about it, I don't have to do that. I can just go put it down, group it, and 110. See? It does look thinner and a little smaller, seemingly, to the model Orcs. But they will be fearsome when they wear all the full armor and stuff. Yeah, which is one at a time. So let's give it a name to Gundabad. Awesomeness. Okay, so let's do a screenshot first. I want to paste this into the different Discord channels. Yep. So if you are in the Discord channel, you'll be able to see this screenshot. Okay. So in the folder now, I have the Gundabads. And So the Gundabads are here. They are all here now. Oh, you know what? This hate. Looks suspicious. This hate just looks suspicious. Never mind. So alright. So okay. So let's. So now. So now I want to insert this into the to create a mod. So I love the rims. You see, I have all the different folders. So I gotta create one for Gundabad. Oh. So how do I save this here? Heads, years. Okay, so head years. Yes, I delete this. I gotta drop the Gundabad years in. And then the heads, I gotta drop the Gundabad heads in. Oh, okay. So the key point is to rename them to average normal. So the reason to do this is because let me check the years. Okay. Yeah, it's because the game requires a detection of which head it is. Or maybe I just name it this way. I can't remember. Never mind. I just gotta follow. I'm sorry. It's been some time since I did modding. It's like I think I'm away for like 2 months, so I'm really little bit kind of like rusty. So just bear with me. So we got the heads in. So now I need to go to the dev. So if you're creating a new race, I strongly encourage you to copy a existing race and edit from there. If not, you're gonna have a lot of pain trying to get the things done correctly. So I'm not too sure whether they change anything on the GitHub of this. Maybe not. So doesn't matter that. Okay, I'm gonna just base it off Model Orcs, and I'm gonna rename it as Gundabad. Yeah, Gundabad Orcs. Gonna take away the copy, and the other one, Ponkai. Gundabad Orc. So open your Notepad++. I strongly encourage you to get Notepad++. It's free, so no excuses. And I'm gonna open these two files. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? Okay, first you need to set up the race. So this part is where you set up the race. Pawn kinds, right? Pawn kind is actually for each race there's like different roles or different type of, like the soldiers, the villagers, the trader, and this is set up at a pawn kind depth. So that's pawn kinds, the kind of pawn are they, which kind of pawn are they. For this part, this is where you set up the race, the alien race. So this is actually the framework. So Gundabad, change it to Gundabad. I think I'm gonna repeat this Gundabad word very often, so I'm just gonna save it. Gundabad and Gundabad. So I haven't added in the description yet. I'm gonna probably leave it to someone else to do it. So there's some race trait. I will not touch this first. I mean, because this is not the point of the tutorial. The tutorial, I just want to show you how to do the graphic, how do you put it in, and we're gonna test it in game. You can see it, and that's about it. Because everything else, these are all the fun parts where you actually like modify the modify them to your liking, or know what's so special about them. But so the body type, I'm gonna keep it everything to what I've already set up for the model orcs, because I gonna assume that they're gonna be the same size. These are the color, the skin color. I will edit this later, so because this is not the priority now. Get it? Okay, the head, and then pawn kind, and then pawn kind, and just gonna rename everything accordingly. If this stream is boring, I'm so sorry. My streams tend to be something like that. Yeah. Because I tend to be doing boring things. So what to do? So pawn kind. So basically this part is where you do the pawn kind. So this is just like a standard pawn. So this is like a generic one. So what else? Okay, I think we are pretty much there for this part. Do I have anything else that needs me to write? Urukai race, Gundabad. So we have 10 files, correct? Of the 5 races. Alright, let's see. So time to test the mod. Oh, what did I do? I start the rainbow, so it updates. So sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the Discord. So yeah, it's been some time since I launched. I'm gonna close the Photoshop. So I'm gonna save this. Oh freak! Oh yeah, remember to save your work like all the time. I forgot to save mine. So that's not a good practice. Seriously, always save your work. Luckily, it did not crash. So, just some things to highlight. Remember, I keep emphasizing, base it off the original artwork, because if you do not position it correctly inside the game, they will actually be offsetted. Like the for example the head, right? Like, oh frick! Like the head, like if you put it off, it will look like this in the game. Or you put it too high, it will look like this. Or too low, it will look like this. And you really do not want your art to turn out in game to be like this. So it's really important. So let's go into the game. I'm still pretty much so I'm not too sure where you guys watching this is from. World Cup is like 1 week or 1 week 1 week away. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I'm like a football, soccer guy kind of person. I play football every week, so I've been listening to the latest the World Cup songs that is just stuck in my head. But I cannot play it here. If I play it here, the entire audio stream is going to be removed by YouTube. So I have to respect the copyright thing. So sorry for my rainbow. It's really slow, I know. Okay. Welcome back if you skip this part of the loading of Rimworld. In case you do not know, I'm WalkingProblem. You are in my channel, so you have to know. Yay! Long time no hear this song. Honestly, I haven't really opened Rimworld for 2 months, or perhaps more. I really was damn busy because I screwed up my life pretty much doing modding. I have been like modding so much over the later part of last year that it's almost like my full-time job. I just want to check whether I loaded the Lord of the Rings. Okay, I loaded. So of course this is a temporary one. Okay, so I'm gonna load a game to test it. Okay, the game is really slow. I'm gonna do the goblin test. So the goblin test save game is something that I used previously to test out the orcs and the goblins races. So now I just need to test it with the latest one. So the main thing is just to load it into the game to see, does it work? Does it look correct? And then I would go out and change the skin colors. So these are okay. You can see these are the Urukais. Nice. Okay, freak. It's been so long. I can't really remember the controls. Freak. So it's so funny. Okay. A lot of death, as per usual in all my testings. What the fuck is that? Oh my. Okay, so we're gonna add in the Lord of the Ring Gundabad Orcs. Oh shit. You see? This is why you need to test. Gundabad here. I think I named it wrongly. Let's go back here. Textures. So Gundabad, Orcs, years. Gundabad year. Oh, okay. You see what is the mistake? Do you know what is the mistake? This is a capital G, this is a small g. Welcome to my world. So let's go out and change the file. And it's here. Let's find the year. Wait, what the hell is this? Oops, year. It's a small g. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, I'm so sad. La 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 la. Okay, let's go back to the game. I saved, so sorry for being quiet. I forgot. Yeah, I was like replying some Discord message about the size of Gundabad. So let's load back the Goblin Test save game. I see the tree is watching now. I have no idea who is that tree. So anyway, oh, I feel so hungry. I'm sorry, that's random. I'm gonna cook some instant noodle later. Am I crazy or am I crazy? Yeah, working on these disgusting creatures. Okay, it's loading. Come on, please work. I'm actually also not sure if my Alien Framework is the latest. It's supposed to be the latest, I guess, since I got mine through Steam. Okay. Sorry for the wait, as usual, as with all of my mod development live streams. So this is what happens. Okay, so I add the guys here. Gundabad Orcs. Alright, Gundabad Orcs. So do they look correct? Oh, they see the year. The year is not working. It's not correct. The year is on the face. What the fuck? How the hell did that happen? See, this is why you need to do testings. Okay, I gotta give them some fight to do. Oh, you don't fight. Shucks. Shit. Space soldiers. Space soldiers. Sorry, I think the game is a bit too loud. Perhaps I should reduce the volume of the game. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going a bit crazy now, so yeah, bear with me. So let's check the other files. The years. No, the year face right side, the left. Whatever. That's when Photoshop comes in. Okay, maybe not. I get this. Frick. Oh yes. Suddenly I remember why I have to redo the entire texturing part. Because these are built with years, you see, built with years. Yeah, and then after that, the years are supposed to remove to a separate file, so it have to be redone. Yeah, now I remember. So let's get to the year. All these years are facing the other side, so apparently I should load it from this side. and I just have to flip the entire file. How do I do that? Image, vertical, horizontal, vertical, flip, vertical. No, wrong bad. Okay, save. Let's go back into the game. So, welcome to the stream. If you just arrived, I already finished all the artwork part of things. So, this is how the Gundabad Orcs are gonna look like. Yeah? Savvy? So, I'm just gonna do the test in game to see how they look like. La 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 la. Alright. Model Orc Villager. Register node. Model. I think is there some mistakes from here? Model. Yeah, it's a mistake. The pawn kind name is wrong. Although this should not affect in game, it should not, because there's just like a tag, like a hashtag in Twitter. It doesn't really affect the actual loading of the game. So that this hashtag is just like a reference for other files. Oh, sorry. Copy test load. And please consider becoming my patron. Please. If not, I have no money and I cannot book on mods. Serious, I'm not joking. If there's sufficient number of people supporting me via Patreon, then I will be able to spend more time doing mods, because I've been spending so much time on modding over the past few years. Not over the past months prior to 2018, that I actually kind of like use up all my savings. So that gave me serious problems moving into 2018, and which is why I was not around for the past 2 months, because I'm trying to sort out my life, and the amount of modding that I'm doing is a lot lesser, because I really have to prioritize things that are able to earn me money. And I really want to thank all my patrons at this moment. I think there's 4 of them. It might be very little, but every little bit helps. So come on, load, man. Game, load. Alright, Hulk smash. Okay, let's spawn the Gundabad Orcs. See, it works. Da da da. Alright, and so as you can see, the Gundabad Orcs are in. You can see very distinctive. They look quite different from the Urukais, especially through the size. You can actually see that they are quite different. Of course, for the colors, I gotta change it. I will have to change the colors so that they have their own distinctive colors to differentiate them from the rest of the orc. And then let's send them to war. We're gonna send space soldiers. Space soldiers, attack! So the good thing about space soldiers in mod testing is that they do not surrender. They will fight to the death. Which is why they make very good test subjects. And the orcs and urukais are being slaughtered in a way. Okay, no. The space soldiers are losing the battle against the numerical advantage of the urukais and Gundabad orcs. Okay. So nobody cares about you. Die. Just die. Okay. So you can see the year. Okay. There's the year there. So the year is very small, which is what I need it to be. And it looks pretty much right, you see, the year. And some of the dead guys do have no ears. Yeah, I think it's a down thing. When they're down, their ears just disappear. Yep, it happens to every one of them. Yep, it works. Good. So and I just want to spawn for screenshot purposes. Love the rain. Okay, to the battles. Print screen. Okay, I'm gonna paste it into the Discord. No, I need to paste it here first because I got two screens actually. You can see, I have two screens, so I need to crop it accordingly. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so what I need to do now is to confirm the skin colors of the Gundabad, and my temptation is to make them really dark. Like dark, like they are the black folks of the orc races. Although I know Bog is pretty bright. But he's Bog. Oh, he's Bog. I'm not sure. Is this meat? Or this is clothes? Looks like clothes. See? They don't really show much faces. This color. So in game, so they actually will look a lot like the orcs, the model orcs colors, if I left them be. Really hard division. So what should they be singular colors? Should they be multiple colors? Maybe I don't give them black or grey, because model orcs are a bit special because they have a lot of different colors. That's just how model orcs are. They are just many colors. spider. My temptation now is just to leave it as is, like the model orcs. So their color schemes are a lot like model orcs. Or should I make them more, homogeneous? Because if you say so when I spawn others like Misty Mountain Goblins, they are all pinkish. They're more pinkish, and if I add in the Moria Goblins, they are more greenish. Okay, it's pretty obvious, right? Pretty obvious. Yeah, they are more greenish. And then we have the model orcs. So the model orcs is more beigey and brownish kind of color. Which is what Gundabad orcs are too. So this is a model, more like a model kind of orc. I really have no idea. Yeah, these are Gundabads, and I think maybe I just gonna leave them as the same colors as model orcs. Yeah, so let's make the decision as is now. Let it be so. And that's it. So that's all, folks. That's the tutorial of walkthrough of what it takes to do a new race. So as you can see, I went from nothing to having a Gundabad race. In I don't know how long is this stream. How long are we in? I have no idea, man. 1.5 hours. Sorry for such a long video, but hope it helps you. I hope so. I'm not going to go through the other part of the Alien Framework because primarily, usually, when people say want to do a new race, typically it's talking about the artwork and putting it within the XML. And as I mentioned, you create the head, which is what this tutorial is about. The head, the most important part, and then after that you drop it within to the folders, and then copy existing race, alien race, find something that is more similar to what you're creating, and then edit from the existing race, and edit slowly, iterate it to what you want, and you will have your new personal alien race that you're going to create. So I'm gonna stop the live stream here now, and thanks for joining me. And hopefully I will be able to spend more time to create all the rest of the armor and finish up the weapons for the orcs, and hopefully I can launch the rest, the orc Law of the Rim mod in maybe 2 weeks time. That's what Jacro told me, or actually told the entire modding team. So that will be what I will be trying to do. Hopefully I will be able to squeeze in the time to work on everything else, and I hope to see you soon. And remember, please be my patron, contribute. It's not going to be much. I think it's just like $5. $5 per month, or if you can contribute more, of course I'll be happy, because $5 means 1 meal here in Singapore, and the more $5 I have means the more time I can spend on modding. So I hope you will help me to help everyone to get more content from Walking Problem. And I am Walking Problem. See you again. Da 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 da. Da 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 da.